Hi, I'm Erica from AccuQuilt, and I'm here to show you how to use the free downloadable embroidery for the Go Mitten die. It is going to make such quick, fun, easy projects for you. Let's get started. Now, the Go Mitten die is on a 5x10 die board, and that means it's going to work in any Go cutter, including our Go Me. There's 3 shapes on the die. We've got the main part of the mitten, the cuff, and this adorable snowflake, which I would not want to try and cut by hand. So to get started, what you're going to want to do is log into your account at AccuQuilt.com and download the free embroidery. Go ahead and save the format to your flash drive that you need for your embroidery machine. Now, if you don't know which format your machine uses, go ahead and check your manual or call your machine dealer. Now, you'll want to fuse your fabric before you cut it out on the die. That fusible is going to count for half a layer. So that means you can cut up to 4 layers of fused fabric at a time. But think outside the box. Maybe you want to use some thicker fabric like flannel, felt, or wool. Cut only 1 or 2 layers of those at a time, and be sure to check the product video that Pam and I made for more details on the die. Now, as we're getting ready to start cut, let's take a look at a pro tip. This mitten shape, this is a directional shape, okay? We've got our mitten here. It's on one side, so it's going to make a difference whether you have your fabric up, facing right side up, or facing right side down. So if you want the thumb on the other side, you're going to have to cut it with the right side down. All right, so let's get ours cut. Now, I know I want mine just the way it is on the die, so I'm going to put my fused red fabric over the mitten. I've got some nice bias stripe, and of course a nice white snowflake. So let's go ahead and we're going to cut that out. We'll have our pieces ready. Now you're going to want to go ahead, and the other thing you need to do to be ready, of course, is to get your stabilizer and your background fabric in your hoop, and I've already got that ready to go. All right, so here's our shapes. Here's our little mitten. These are so cute. Wait till you see how fast this is. Look, it cut perfectly. Look how complicated that is. And sewing it with the embroidery, totally the way to go. All right, we've already got our background fabric and our stabilizer in the hoop. We've got the embroidery on a flash drive and into the machine. And the last thing to do is to pick out a stitch. Now we've got 3 to choose from: a satin stitch, a blanket stitch, and a motif stitch. Now today, I'm going to go ahead and use the motif stitch. I really like it on this. It almost looks like little snowflakes. Now remember the pro tip about that mitten being directional. Well, you need to be sure that your embroidery on your machine is set up to face the same way that your fabric is. If not, you can either recut your fabric or you can flip your embroidery on your machine before you get stitching. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this into our machine. I've got everything ready to go. And the first thing that it's going to do is do a placement stitch. So I'm just going to go ahead and get us started. Okay, so our placement stitch is done, and okay, get that out of the way. Now we've got this all ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and take the fusible off the back of my shape, the paper I mean. Here we go. And it is going to fit exactly inside those placement stitches. I left it with black because I wanted you to be able to see it. Now I like to go ahead and fuse this down off of my machine. You can go ahead and fuse it on your machine, but you want to be really careful because, let's face it, you don't want to melt your machine. So I'm just going to go over it really lightly. I don't want to make it too thick but I want a nice stick. Okay, so now we're ready to go back to the machine and do the pretty stuff. Okay, so we've gotten our motif stitch all the way around. You'll notice it didn't stitch across the bottom. Don't panic. The next stitch is going to go ahead and put the cuff on, and we don't want it to be embroidered underneath the cuff. That would make it lumpy. So, time for our next placement stitch. Perfect. Okay, you can see we're ready right now to go ahead and put our cuff in place. Again, I'm going to peel that paper off. Usually if you just pull back a corner, it's going to come right off for you. Line it up. Line that up as close as we can. I love this stripe. You know, I didn't cut this on the bias. It was printed like this. Isn't that slick? But it looks like I did something really complicated. All right. Now we're going to put it back on the machine and do the motif stitch around that. Okay, we've got the nice motif stitch done around our cuff. Time to move on to the placement stitch for the snowflake. Okay, now this little guy is already looking absolutely adorable. And the last thing is to go ahead and put our little snowflake down. Okay. Peel that off. And let's make sure we get our placement just right. Although you know what they say, no two snowflakes are exactly the same, right? It was even cute with just the black outline of the stitching, but look how cute it is now with our snowflake on there. Isn't that adorable? Okay, time to finish this off. I'm going to go ahead, put it back in, get our motif stitching done on that little snowflake. Perfect. All right, let me trim my threads here. All right. And you can see we've got our mitten all finished. Isn't that great? Now I used black thread. I wanted you to really be able to see those stitches, but you could totally change out, use white for the snowflake, or maybe even switch it up, use the teal. That would have been pretty too. So here it is, and you can see with or without the snowflake, it's absolutely adorable. But gosh, this embroidery makes it so easy to put that cute little snowflake on there. I hope you enjoy using this free, easy embroidery in our projects, because here at AccuQuilt, we want to help you cut time so you can quilt and embroider more.